European immigration. That means the majority of Latino families didn't enter the U.S. legally until the 20th century, while Black Americans had already been here for 400 years. 400 years. So I'm saying that to say this. I think that one of the biggest problems that we have in both communities is we don't have knowledge of who each other are. And I believe if the Hispanic community had more knowledge of who Black Americans actually are, they would automatically have more respect for us, right? They don't know who we are, so they don't respect us. I don't know if that's to blame them or the government, but something's got to change. And that was 5 facts to break the immigrants back.
Hello guys and welcome back. How are you guys doing? Thank you for tuning in. Let's jump into what is trending that got people speaking. Yes guys, we gotta react to this video right here. Latinos. How many times did I call y'all? Latinos they are just in shock by them discovering that the African Americans are not an immigrant. They just discovered the African Americans, they are not an immigrant. And a lot of people came on social media and said, oh, that makes sense. That explains it. Why and how they voted November 5th, 2024. Yes, I am going to be rolling y'all tabs. Credits to the creators for giving us the opportunity to add our comments away. You know, you can add your comment right down there in the comment section. How do you feel about this topic? Let's react and let's go watch the video.
American facts to break immigrants back. Black Americans did not immigrate here. We were trafficked through chattel slavery. The first Americans arrived in Virginia in 1619, not as immigrants, but as chattel property under violent colonial rule. No visa, no port of entry, no green card. Only forced labor, rape, and death. That's it. Black Americans were here before most white, Asian, or Latino immigrants. Do your history, do your research. 1865, over 4 million Black people had already lived, worked, and died in America before the majority of European, Mexican, Chinese, or Caribbean immigrant waves began to come here. Source, U.S. Census, 1860. Black Americans are the only group whose citizenship was legislated. The 14th Amendment, 1860, was written specifically for descendants of American slaves, not immigrants. It granted legal citizenship to Black Americans who have been born on U.S. soil but treated as property. Source, U.S. Constitution, Congressional Record, Civil Rights Act, 1866. Black Americans fought in every American war before many groups were ever even allowed in America. From the Revolutionary War to the Vietnam War to Iraq, foundational Black Americans have fought, bled, and died to defend a country that doesn't even consider us human. I hope you guys understand that our blood is spilt on the land of America. Fact number 5, to break the immigrants' back, to break the ignorance of immigrants' mind, okay? Most Latino immigration was not legal until 1965. 1965? The Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 removed the racial quotas that had previously built European immigration. That means the majority of Latino families didn't enter the U.S. legally until the 20th century, while Black Americans had already been here for 400 years. 400 years. So I'm saying that to say this. I think that one of the biggest problems that we have in both communities is we don't have knowledge of who each other are. And I believe if the Hispanic community had more knowledge of who Black Americans actually are, they would automatically have more respect for us, right? They don't know who we are, so they don't respect us. I don't know if that's to blame them or the government, but something's got to change. And that was 5 facts to break the immigrants back.
People don't see this as a problem. We know it's a problem. We know it's an issue. We're just tired. We told you. We told you, and not you as specifically you, we told you as the country what is going to happen. We knew this was going to happen, and people still voted him into office. You don't need to talk to Black people and ask Black people where we are and why we aren't doing anything and why we aren't standing up. Because Black people have always been standing up. Black women have always been standing up. We're the ones that show up and show out every single time. We're the ones that when people go out to a party, that was the latest conversation. When people go to a party, they don't feel comfortable with a group of people around unless they see Black people there, Black women around. They tell their children, if you're in trouble, to go find a big black man because they know that person's going to help and take care of them. We know. We are tired of carrying everyone on our backs. That is what's going on. We are not standing up in the streets and protesting this because why? You say in that video, what if your family members were one day gone and you couldn't do anything about it? It happens to us on a daily basis. On a daily basis, our family members are getting slaughtered by police for nothing. Because of a black man getting killed by police, the largest Black Lives Matter movement in history around the world occurred because of black people. This is happening because of your people. Your people voted for him. Look at those numbers for who showed up and voted for Trump. Hispanics for Trump, Latinas for Trump. Those are the people who voted for him. We did our part. That is why you aren't seeing us in the street. It's not that we don't lack empathy or compassion. It's that we are tired. We have been there, done that. You also talk about how you are being hunted down and treated like animals. Let's not forget the pan-Atlantic slave trade that happened with black people. And once we were released from slavery, we were then used as experimentation for medical advancements. We were treated like treated inhumane. We were treated like animals. That is why we are tired. And the generation of the people we have, like me, talking, is because we are not our ancestors. We are not going to be repeating the exact same things that happened to us and allowing for you all to sit here and run us over. You guys did not do what you had to do to show up and show out and vote. I don't care. I don't know who you voted for. I don't care who you voted for. It's the Hispanic community as a whole. That's who you need to be talking to. You don't need to come over here and bring black people into it and why aren't black people and how could you not feel this way if you were white or black? Have empathy. Black people have empathy. We know. But we've been there and we're done that and we're tired. And so that's where we stand on this. And then on your first video, your part 1 video, you also said you just want to go back to how things were. You just wanted to go back to when there was peace. If you think that there was ever peace, that shows a privilege that you have. That is a privilege that you had as not being black in America, because there was never peace for us. Never. We could never walk into any workspace and feel 100% comfortable. We can never just walk outside our houses and feel 100% comfortable. We don't know what's going on. I'm 34 years old. As a child, I'm taught, if you get pulled over by a police, if you see police trying to pull you over, don't just pull off to the side of the road. Pull into a parking lot, a gas station where it's well lit, because you don't know who's going to pull you over. You don't know what that police officer is going to do to you. You don't know what that person at work is going to do to you. That is what we deal with on a daily basis. So no, we have empathy. We understand, but we're not going to go parade in the street anymore because that is somebody else's turn. And I hope that you hear what I'm saying and you take that in and you go and you talk to your people. You talk to other people about it. You guys go out in the street and you protest to get him impeached and to turn all of these things over that are happening with ICE, because that's not our job anymore.
You know, people around the globe thought that African Americans were immigrants. That's pretty jacked up. Like, all this time y'all thought we were immigrants? I don't understand even why people would think that, because here you have the whole Caribbean, the whole South America, and then we have North America right here. And you would think that, okay, yeah, I mean, everybody else is cool. You know what I'm saying? Jamaicans are Jamaicans, you know, Haitians are Haitians, you know what I'm saying? Why on earth would people think that we are immigrants when we got over here before the founding of the country? Why in the world would people think that we're immigrants? African Americans, I mean. Okay? That is so weird. Like, and to see how it actually affected how they voted. I mean, this really opened up a can of worms right here. This really did open up a can of worms. It affected how they voted. It affected all the things they would say about us for a long period of time. Like, they really thought that we were the immigrants of the United States of America. So how is it that people would think we are immigrants? That makes absolutely no sense. All this time. And see now, then when I saw that Cuban lady on here talking about you know what? African Americans are the only ones who can help us. For the longest time, we have been clowning African Americans, blah, 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 and they're the only ones that can help us. They can't be deported. So, even though the video was honestly true, right? But when you say that, right? You said that out your mouth, right? That means that the only reason why you would even try to be around us at this point is to secure your status here? After talking all that trash? She was talking about Cubans. I'm going to specifically say she was talking about Cuban Americans. She was talking about Cubans, okay? Nobody else. I want to put on a whole lot. She was talking about that because she was Cuban. She said, I've always been with them, but you know, if you're going to kiss anybody's butt, you're going to have to kiss Black American butt. What? This thing is blowing my mind, really. Because the fact that, because I did a whole video about this, and I was telling someone from out of the country, talking about when we come over to the country, we like to align with white people because that's where we get our success from. And I said flat out, said you do not get your success from white people. White people don't even want you. You get your success from Black people. That just went completely over a lot of people. Say just like they're like, how in the world is that? I mean, it seems like the globe does not consider us. And then they would always say, what kind of power do you have? What kind of power do African Americans have? Do you not realize? Do you not realize that there's white people in Congress? And then guess what? Guess who's next? Guess who has the most power in Congress? Black Americans. Now I understand that the globe, many, probably the majority, just thought we were just over here. And now it makes sense why every time they look at us, right, they say they don't consider us actual founders of the country. All they do, they sit there and they say slave. When they see us, they say slave. That's what they see. Because I've actually looked at comments and been called it myself slave.
5 American facts.
Cards, they were ABC cards, but on every card is letter of the alphabet and an important person from Black history. And that was what we did all February at Sunday school. Like, we learned those cards. We would have to, and then we'd line up at like the Black history program and we'd have to read them out loud. So I guess I just assumed, oh my God.
Y'all know when Latinos and Hispanics be like, Black Americans are next? They really thought that Black Americans are immigrants. And that explains why they voted the way they voted. They tried to get us up out of here. But I gotta say to the Latino community, not only did your ESL classes, but the American educational system failed you tremendously. Because Black Americans are not immigrants and we're not going anywhere. And this is how ill-informed they are. They really think because they're in the middle between Black and white that they're white adjacent. When that's far from the truth. It's only 3 categories that's broken down in this country. You have white Americans, you have non-whites, and you have Black Americans. The people in the middle, y'all just extras in this movie. The main characters are the white Americans and the Black Americans, and sometimes the Native Americans make a guest appearance. This country spent too much money, trillions of dollars, in painting black people as the bad guys. That's the default. To even get rid of black Americans, as sad as that may sound. And you know who's catching on quick, who's learning the game real quick? Africans and Caribbeans. That's why they're cosplaying as black Americans. They're not cosplaying as black Americans to trick us black Americans. They're doing it to trick white Americans because they don't want to be deported.
Who is going to help the Latinos out, y'all? It's like the Latinos have not been paying attention. I would say we have Black History Month. So they have not been paying attention to Black History Month for them to learn about Black history. Why do we celebrate Black History Month? It's for them to learn about Black history. It's for us not to forget about Black history. It's for our children to learn and never to forget about Black history. So for them to come out right now and in shock that African Americans, they were not an immigrant, I think it is rich. I do not know who is going to help them out. Do y'all think they have just been ignorant? Because no way you are going to mix African American history if you live in America. How do y'all think they can be? Who's gonna help the Latinos out to learn about? Because when we are talking about Americans, you have to learn about the whole histories. Not just you cannot pick and choose to learn about histories. The whole histories that make American an American have to be learned. What do you guys think? Let's just go down there in the comment section if you can. Add your comment to this. How do you think Latinos can be helped in terms of learning about the whole of the American history? Not pick and choose, the whole. I'm going to catch up with you guys later. As usual, please, let's respect ourselves while we comment. Thank you so much for your love. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't. Press a thumbs up, you know what I mean, so YouTube can know that this kind of content is appreciated. Bye for now.